Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is June 29, 2023, and it seems that Barcelona will miss out on a sign-in of the Croatian midfielder Marcelo Brozovic. Also, Deco was in Turkey today trying to seal the sign-in of Arda Guler. And finally, it looks like Franck Kessie wants to leave Barcelona on a free transfer. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a quick announcement, and that's that tomorrow I will be leaving town in order to go visit my family until Tuesday, and as such I will be away from my YouTube studio. But don't worry, I will continue bringing you the most up-to-date Barca news every day, but I will be doing it using my cell phone and doing these short live streams, like around 10-minute live streams, where I won't really be addressing the chat section or getting a discussion going. It'll be just very short live streams to bring in the most up-to-date news, because even though I will be out of town on holiday visiting my family, Barca does not take any breaks, so there will still be news, and I will be here bringing you that news every day. Now, having said that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kickback. The link is down below in the description. Now, we'll begin with the news that Barcelona will miss out on the signing of Marcelo Brozovic, who has agreed to join the Saudi club Al-Nassr. Now, Barcelona were considering signing Marcelo Brozovic as a replacement for Sergio Busquets in the pivot position. However, in order for the club to sign the Croatian midfielder, he needed to wait for them because they needed to offload players first before they can sign him. And even though it looked like Marcelo Brozovic was willing to wait for Barcelona, it's now being announced that he has agreed to join the Saudi club Al-Nassr. Now today, representatives from the Saudi club Al-Nassr traveled to Croatia in order to meet with Marcelo Brozovic representatives. And it seemed that Marcelo Brozovic skipped that meeting, and that caused for many media outlets to speculate that maybe Brozovic was willing to wait for Barcelona even longer. But later on today, it was confirmed that Marcelo Brozovic has reached a verbal agreement to join the Saudi club, and he will be undergoing medical exams tomorrow, Friday, June the 30th. And it seems like he will be signing a contract until 2026. Now, this was Barcelona's main option to sign to reinforce that pivot position now that Sergio Busquets is out of the club. So now that Marcelo Brozovic will be joining Al-Nassr, Barcelona will activate their plan B, and that's to sign Oriol Romeu. Now, as I've talked about in previous videos, Oriol Romeu currently plays for Girona. He has a 10 million euro release clause, which Barcelona think they can negotiate down to around 3 to 5 million euros. And of course, he's a player who came up through the Barcelona academy, so he's very much familiar with what the pivot position requires at Barcelona. Now, I know some of you don't necessarily like this option, but I think it is a good option because Oriol Romeu might not be a great player, but he's still a solid player who knows how to do his job well in that pivot position. And he's kind of a combination of Busquets and Franck Kessie, where he is a positional pivot, but at the same time, he's very strong and fast. So he gives you kind of that hybrid pivot, kind of like someone like Sofiane Amrabat. So I really don't think that this would be a bad option. And yes, his age is 31 years old, but I think he could be a short-term solution for the next 2, maybe 3 seasons, while Barcelona invests a bigger amount in another pivot, or perhaps invest in a younger pivot, and that would give the club more time to train that young pivot so he can be ready to take on that position once Oriol Romeu is out of the club. Now, Barcelona think that this whole operation can cost around 10 to 12 million euros, so that would include the transfer fee, the player's salary, any kind of bonuses or taxes, which of course is a very much affordable option for Barcelona, who are currently in a difficult financial situation. Now, speaking of other options to replace Busquets in a pivot position, I did mention in a previous video that there was a report saying that Barcelona were considering Dani Parejo from Villarreal. And I said that I didn't necessarily think that Barcelona were much in favor of this option because, after all, Dani Parejo is almost 35 years old, and the player is not too keen on leaving Villarreal, where he's currently happy. And well, today the news has been confirmed that Barcelona have ruled out the Dani Parejo option. Now, it seems that there were some people in the club who were in favor of this option, but many other people in the club who were not in favor of signing Dani Parejo. And also the player himself was not too keen on leaving Villarreal to join Barcelona. So given the hesitation on both sides, Barcelona have now ruled out the possibility of signing Dani Parejo, which in my opinion, I think is good news because again, Dani Parejo is almost 35 years old. Plus, he's not the pivot that Barcelona are looking for. Now, speaking of ruling out players, it's almost 99% for sure that Barcelona will be ruling out the signing of Yannick Carrasco. Now, as I reported in previous videos, when Barcelona offloaded Memphis Depay to Atletico de Madrid, they were able to negotiate an option to purchase Yannick Carrasco during this summer transfer market. And this option was worth around 90 million euros, which Barcelona later tried to negotiate down to around 8 to 9 million euros, but Atletico de Madrid refused to do so. While this option to buy that Barcelona currently have with Atletico de Madrid will expire on June 30th, so tomorrow, if Barcelona do not activate it, then there's no way that the club will be able to sign Yannick Carrasco. And even though it's not yet official and not yet confirmed by the club, it's looking like 99.99% for sure that Barcelona will not be signing Yannick Carrasco because the club are not willing to pay the 90 million euros for the player. And also the left wing position is not really a priority for Barcelona. And if Barcelona were to invest in that position, it would be in Abde rather than the 29-year-old Belgian player. Now on to the news that Deco flew to Turkey today to try to seal the move of Arda Guler to Barcelona. Now, as I reported before, Barcelona have been tracking Arda Guler for quite some time, and this is a player who's very great in handling and dribbling the ball, so much so that he has been dubbed the Turkish Messi. However, his 18 million euro release clause had cooled off any kind of attempt by Barcelona to sign the player because Barcelona are going through some difficult financial situation. Now, ever since the arrival of Deco in Barcelona as a football director, he's been pushing the club to try to sign Arda Guler because he considers him as a generational talent or generational player, kind of like Gabi, Pedri, or even Lionel Messi back when he was still a teen. So now Barcelona have increased their efforts in their pursuit of Arda Guler, and today Deco flew to Turkey in order to try to seal the move of the Turkish player. Now it seems that Deco is trying to negotiate with Fenerbahce and with Arda Guler a deal that would allow Barcelona to sign a player during this summer, but he would not arrive until the winter transfer market or even next summer transfer market in 2024, which would solve two problems for the club. Number one problem would be that this would give Barcelona more time to clear space on their wage bill in order to incorporate Arda Guler into their squad. And a second problem would be something I mentioned in yesterday's live stream, which is that Arda Guler's entourage are looking to take the player to a team that's not as big as Barcelona or Real Madrid because they want to make sure that the player keeps getting playing time so he can continue developing and growing. And perhaps if Arda Guler stayed at Fenerbahce for another season, this would give him a lot more time to continue developing and growing. And that way he could arrive in Barcelona with more experience and maybe he'll be able to earn a starting spot on the first squad. Now, the news that Deco is in Turkey trying to negotiate and seal this move is not a rumor. It was in fact confirmed today by Jean Laporta, who also confirmed that La Liga does allow Barcelona to sign deals during this summer transfer market if the players will be joining later, because the salaries of these players would not go into the calculation of the financial fair play rule restrictions. So Barcelona would be able to sign Arda Guler during this summer as long as he would be arriving either in the winter or next summer 2024. Now on to the news that it seems that Franck Kessie is looking to leave Barcelona on a free transfer. Now, as reported in yesterday's live stream, the Saudi club Al-Ahli are currently negotiating with Franck Kessie and his entourage to try to take the Ivorian midfielder to the Saudi League. And it's reported that Al-Ahli have offered Barcelona around 20 million euros for Franck Kessie, and they've offered the player himself a 10 million euro salary. Now, it's reported that Franck Kessie and his agent are currently pushing the Al-Ahli to up their offer given how much money the Saudi League are offering other players. And today it's reported that Barcelona think that given the statements and what Franck Kessie and his entourage are currently doing, Barcelona think that the player is looking to leave Barcelona on a free transfer. Now, it seems that Franck Kessie, since he did arrive in Barcelona as a free agent and he agreed to reduce his salary and forego more lucrative offers from other clubs. It looks like the player would want to leave Barcelona on a free transfer, because whenever players join other clubs as free agents, then these other clubs can offer them higher salaries and signing bonuses, given that those clubs do not have to spend money on a transfer fee. Now, of course, Barcelona are not in favor of Kessie leaving for free. They are looking to make money off his transfer, especially since he arrived as a free agent. So any money that Barcelona would make would be pure profit, which Barcelona are in dire need in order to clear space on their wage bill and continue signing and registering players during this summer transfer market. Now, of course, the summer transfer market is long, and actually it hasn't even opened yet. It won't open until July 1st. So Barcelona could eventually convince Franck Kessie to accept a transfer fee. But of course, right now, the power completely lies in Franck Kessie's hands, because as I reported in yesterday's live stream, Barcelona need to offload at least one player by the end of tomorrow, June 30th, because that's when the fiscal year ends, and that's when clubs turn over all their paperwork from the fiscal year to La Liga in order for La Liga to set the new wage limit for the upcoming season. Now, we will end today's video with the shocking news that it seems that Barcelona are now negotiating to renew the contract of the Barca Athletic goalkeeper Arnau Tenas. Now, as I reported previously, Arnau Tenas' contract expired on June 30th, and he announced that he will be leaving the club, saying that Barcelona hadn't attempted to renew his contract. And yesterday, I reported during the live stream that Barcelona had explained that they did have an automatic option to extend the contract of the player for one more season. However, per this clause, his salary would have tripled. And of course, Barcelona cannot afford that. And it's reported that they tried to negotiate a lower salary renewal, but it seems that the player and his agent refused. Now, when it all seemed like Arnau Tenas was going to be leaving the club, it seems that Joan Laporta intervened and instructed the board of directors and everyone else to do everything in their power to renew the contract of Arnau Tenas, because after all, he is a product of La Masia, and Joan Laporta does not want to see this young and promising goalkeeper leave the club. Now, Barcelona are now in negotiation with Arnau Tenas and his agent, and Arnau Tenas' agent has informed the club that that clause to automatically renew the contract of the player expired on June 15th, and therefore these negotiations will be brand new negotiations where the club are gonna have to make the player and his agent an acceptable offer in order for the goalkeeper to stay. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.